العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ومن لم يجعل الله له نورا فما له من نور. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وإن شر الأمور محدثاتها وإن كل محدثة بدعة وإن كل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we're still continuing the long chain of talks about raising children, but while we are addressing raising children, we are also going to talk about other aspects in our religion that are so important for our day-to-day life that also have impact on our children. And the topic that I would like to talk about today, and if I'm here next week, I will probably continue the second part of it to clarify certain concepts. It's the importance of dua, the importance of dua, the importance of supplication, the importance of invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking Him. And a dua can be a source of great blessings and great protection to the human being that can save him from so many problems in life. And it can also be a source of major problems and catastrophe to a person. When would dua become a source of major problems for you or for me? This is when we oppress somebody. When you oppress someone, whether this person is Muslim or non-Muslim, and that person makes dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to punish you, to do something really bad for you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never lets down the call of the oppressed. Never. Never lets down the call, the supplication of the oppressed. Even if the oppressed person is non-Muslim, and he looks up and asks for the creator of the heavens and the earth, he might not know his name, what his name is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall punish the oppressor. So be careful that no one would make dua against you. And the dua can be a great blessing for you when you make the dua. When you make the dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you, to protect your children, to safeguard you, to guide you. Dua can be a source of a catastrophe for you. Also, if it comes against you from one of your parents. If you make one of your parents so angry, you behave so badly, to the extent that the parent behaves in a way which is not usual for him or for her, and makes dua against you, be careful. Allah might accept that dua and you will see yourself falling in a serious problem. And this is going to be the story that we are going to talk about today. how someone got into a deep trouble because his mother made dua against him. Before going to that story, I would like to mention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us, and when I say us, I'm talking about all of us as children. We are all children to our parents. We all have parents, whether our parents are alive or dead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders us, children, to make dua for our parents, whether our parents are alive or dead. Remember, our topic today is the importance of dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verses 23 and 24. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. And your Lord has decreed that you not worship except Him, and to parents good treatment and kindness, and to parents good treatment and kindness, whether one or both of them reach old age while with you. Say not to them so much as uff. Say not to them so much as uff, and do not repel them, but speak to them a noble word. Say not to them, not even uff. Uff in Arabic is an expression which means that the person is just fed up. When you say to someone, uff, means that you're telling him, I'm just so fed up with you. You're not saying in words, unbold words, you're just saying, uff. Not even that. The Quran is telling us, don't even say that to your parents. And how then do you deal with them? How do you treat them? Look at the expression of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy. And lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy. And say, my Lord, have mercy upon them, as they brought me up when I was small. What does it mean? Lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy. It means be so kind and lenient and merciful to them, to the extent that if a stranger is watching you, he will think that you are even humiliating yourself in order to gain their pleasure. This is what the expression in Arabic which says, وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ, and lower the wing of humility out of mercy. Meaning, be so kind to them, to the extent that the stranger is looking at you, he will think that you are humiliating yourself in order to gain their pleasure. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and say, this is where we talk about our subject today, dua. We always need to make dua for our parents. Don't forget that. Let this be one of the actions that we all go home with today. Every one of us, let him try to be determined now to make dua for his parents in every one of his prayers. Let us, if we do not come out today with anything more than this, that would be the greatest thing. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and say,